What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Patrick here. Moving on to the next question dealing with derivatives. This is a cool question. It's kind of going to test your understanding of the fundamentals. So if f of x has a tangent y equals negative 6x plus 1 at an x value of 3, then what is f of prime 3 and then f of 3? So let me kind of show you on a diagram what's going on here. So we got some kind of function f of x. We don't know what it is, but what we do know is that at an x value of 3, the function is going to have a tangent negative 6x plus 1. Now negative 6x plus 1, that's a line that is sloping downwards. So we don't know how this function looks like, but at that point there, okay, so let's say this is part of the function. We don't know how the function looks, but let's say it looks like that. At that point, it has this tangent here. And the tangent has an equation, negative 6x plus 1. So what they're asking for is, even though we don't know what the function is, given that information, what is f of prime 3 and what is f of 3? And f of 3 is actually going to be tougher to get. Actually, no, it's not too bad. I just realized. I was going to say f of 3 is tougher to get than f of prime 3, but it's actually not. They're both pretty easy to get. So notice that f of prime 3, the value of the derivative of this function at an x value of 3 is going to be the slope of the tangent at that x value 3. And notice the slope of the tangent is negative 6, right? Y equals mx plus b. So we know the value of the derivative of this function here. Again, this function doesn't necessarily have to be looking like that. I just drew an example. But it definitely, at that x value 3, has to have that tangent, negative 6x plus 1. And so what this is the f prime 3 is the slope of tangent of the tangent that's on f of x at an x value of 3. And the slope of the tangent is negative 6. So that's what f of prime 3 is. And then f of 3, notice that this here is going to be the y value of this point, right? It's going to be 3 and whatever that y value is there. And notice that this point is on the function, but it's also on this tangent, negative 6x plus 1. And so because that point is also on this tangent, we could figure out what this y value is by just plugging in 3 for the x value in the tangent equation. So if we plug in 3 here, we'll have negative 18 plus 1, which would give us negative 17. And so this ends up being negative 17, right? Because that point here, remember, we're looking for this y value, right? Because this is the function, f of x. So this here is the y value of f of x at an x value of 3, this over here. But this point is also on this tangent. So we could find out what that y value is by just plugging in that x value 3 in the x value of the tangent. We get negative 17. So that ends up being f of 3, negative 17, and f of prime 3, slope of the tangent is negative 6.